Our elf on the shelf is dead forever and I am so relieved. Last year my son, then 9, decided elf on the shelf was not real when he had a friend over. Touched it, picked it up, threw it on the floor and later electrical taped it to a robot vacuum. My youngest was watching and laughed and I thought, finally, nobody believes in this annoying elf anymore. So, Pinecone the elf disappeared after that. This December, my youngest child asked if Elf on the Shelf was coming back and I told her no, pretty sure her brother had killed him forever. And, I don't even feel guilty because the holiday season is so much less stressful without it. To all parents, do not get sucked into getting an elf on the shelf. They will be the bane of your existence for years to come. Once my daughter figured out hers wasn't real, she asked if she could keep setting it up anyway. So, every year now she interacts with it as much or as little as she wants. I hid the elf in the oven once, and no one found him that morning so I forgot he was in there. I was preheating the oven to bake cookies when the aroma of burning plastic filled the room. Elfie the elf was only slightly melted. The next morning my 6-year-old at the time found him and said oof, Elfie had a rough night. He has not been seen since and no one asks for him as it's implied he had grievous injuries. I don't get why people feel like their elf has to be naughty and make a mess or even write notes. They are there to watch the kids' behavior and report it to Santa. I have a little elf, it's not Elf on the Shelf brand, it's a really cute mini doll I found on Etsy, and she sits high up on shelves and I move her around. But she never makes messes and the kids still enjoy trying to find her. As someone who never had to deal with that thing, what's it all about other than some elf on a shelf apparently, and why is it stressful and why do parents do that? I'm a teacher and I can tell you that the elf on the shelf thing is getting out of hand. The kids all have one at home, and many families have several elves, one for each child. And some of these elves are not leaving small treats like candy canes for the kids. They're leaving clothes, pajamas, expensive toys, and even gift cards. One of my grade 4 students got a Sephora advent calendar from her elf. Ridiculous. My daughter didn't like that he reported back to Santa, she gutted ours with scissors and trashed it. Remind me 7 years ago. I don't need a possessed elf to destroy my house, never got one. I told my kids that I told Santa I didn't want a troublemaker in my house, we can laugh at what Auntie's elf does to her home. My in-laws started with the elf on the shelf stuff and I was originally annoyed but we keep what he does simple. Play with toys or add candy canes to the tree kind of stuff. My son loves Buddy but I definitely couldn't keep up with some of the crazy stuff people come up with daily.